I started the project by looking at homesickness in students. Reading around the subject, I found that, as well as a number of emotions, homesickness can cause poor concentration, miss deadlines, and lower the quality of work produced. I considered how the university could help minimise the issue. Suggested improvements for the transition into university focused on better knowledge of the area, events, and opportunities to meet more people. I considered creating an app which would connect all the first years to each other and to all the events going on. On reflection, homesickness is a very complex issue and the feasibility of an app solving it is unrealistic. The solution needs several elements and would require a lot more time than I had. I decided to look at depression more generally. One form of depression which we can all relate to on some level is lack of motivation when we wake up. Sleep inertia is the feeling of grogginess when we wake up. It typically lasts 15 to 30 minutes. During this period, our physical and cognitive abilities are dramatically reduced. When tested with simple arithmetic, it was found that people perform 5 standard deviations below average during the sleep inertia period. In addition, sleep inertia is estimated to cause 20% of car accidents. I researched, looking at morning routines, bedtime routines, sleep monitoring, and alarm systems. This led me to dawn stimulation, a therapy used to treat sufferers of seasonal affective disorder. Dawn stimulation is proven to decrease the effects of sleep inertia. The light stimulates serotonin production in our brains, a chemical which makes us more alert. I also found that the light bulbs used mimic natural light and are much brighter than everyday light bulbs. Conductive ink, OLEDs, and flexible screens all caught my eye as upcoming technologies. My aim was to produce some sort of gentle awakening system which used light, used some of the new technologies I'd looked at, and would be easy to purchase and install by a homeowner. I looked into the possibility of wall coverings. Here are some of my concepts. My preferred concept was a dawn simulation wall sticker to be placed above the headboard, which used nature-related imagery to create an attractive wall decal when not in use. Weaknesses were that in order to decrease sleep inertia, the illumination would have to be very intense and would not allow for 2 people in the same bed to wake at different times. Conventional alarm clocks are quick to reset with little disturbance to others, whilst an intense light cycle would not be so easy to ignore. Feeling that I had exhausted all avenues, I decided to flip the project on its head. Instead of adults waking up, I looked at how lights and wall coverings could help children go to sleep. I looked at children's bedtime routines. Popular suggestions were to implement a consistent 30-minute routine which incorporated bedtime stories, comforting soft toys, and night lights. Through my research, I noticed there were 2 main ways of projecting images. I tested these methods out. Without lenses, the acetates became blurred. The silhouettes were much more recognisable. I considered 3D wall decals, projection lamps with slides linked to storybooks, and light-up bed canopies. I talked these ideas through with Walltastic, a company which specialises in children's wall decals and stickers. I was made aware of concepts similar to mine using conductive ink, lighting, and sound being released soon. It was comforting to know that the market was heading in the same direction and added validity to my project. I continued, hoping to develop beyond the products soon to be released. Looking at children's books and toys, I categorised what I saw. Most of the less known characters were aimed at children 0 to 3. Most of the books involved interaction and encouraged roleplay, and many were aimed at learning. There were also lots of complex craft activities. I decided to focus more on the storytelling aspect of my product. Storytelling for children doesn't just happen at bedtime. I came up with ideas of incorporating wall murals and decals into storytelling. My favourite concept was this: a range of panels and a range of characters, all made of felt, all of which can be changed around. The heavier panels would stick to magnetic paint on the wall behind, and the characters to the panels, as with fuzzy felt. The overall idea was to have a storytelling wallpaper which could be changed around endlessly. To come up with characters for my product, I looked at the success of Peppa Pig. Possible things I thought I could take forward were the clean graphics and the use of the child's perspective, and the use of animals to avoid race and gender issues. I developed characters of my own. I decided that all the main characters were going to use the same set of shapes, to make manufacture easier and to create a synergy between them. I then mocked up some examples. I liked the charm the characters had, but had some improvements I wanted to make. I considered CE mark regulations, which since 2011 have been a requirement for all soft toys, mass-produced and handmade, and looked at manufacture methods of plush toys. Looking into magnetic paint further, I noticed that it is expensive and requires 4 to 5 coats to gain strength. It's also only available in dark grey, and so would need to be painted over if used in a children's bedroom. I looked at magnetic paper as an alternative. However, when tested with the super strong, rare earth magnets recommended, several were needed to keep the felt in place. Just one of these magnets, on a metal surface, was very hard to remove. The strength of the magnets concerned me. If used on surfaces other than the paper, like a fridge or radiators, the children were at risk of getting hurt. Already familiar to children and washable, hook and loop seemed like the perfect alternative. I developed the characters to have patterned bodies which would be made of the hook part of the hook and loop. However, reading reviews of Fuzzy Felt, a product similar to mine, many parents were disappointed by the added paint and patterns, saying that it restricted the imagination and overcomplicated a good simple product. I developed the concept further to incorporate 3D characters and designed each of the panels and each of the characters to create a product structure. From my storytelling research, it was clear that parent interaction is also an important element of childhood. I thought about creating MIY kits. I looked into the make-it-yourself kits further and looked at craft kits and what age groups they currently cater for. I also looked at product feedback of other toys and found a need for gender-neutral toys. I looked at the product's storage and incorporated pockets to allow the children to put it away themselves. Wallplay is a toy for children ages 3 to 6, is safe, follows the low-tech toy trend seen in retailers currently, encourages make-it-yourself activities, combines wall coverings with play, encourages role-play in the imagination, is gender-neutral, is easy for the children to store, is effective and robust with repetitive play, and encourages the parent-child bonding aspects of childhood. So let's see what Fox is up to today. Fox was flying his kite in the garden. Suddenly, there was a sharp gust of wind, and Fox got blown away. Rabbit saw that Fox needed help and had an idea. Rabbit climbed a tree to try and catch Fox, but Rabbit wasn't heavy enough, and they both got blown away. They saw a whale in the ocean. They flew up so high that they saw aliens in space. The aliens tried to help them and cut the rope free. Fox and Rabbit started to fall. They bounced off the fluffy clouds, all the way back down to the garden, and landed safely, just in time for tea. So that was the story today. I wonder what will happen tomorrow. Maybe mum or dad, brother or sister, grandpa or grandma or friends will join in and help create a whole new story. Maybe they'll meet the animals in the savannah, or go on an adventure on a pirate ship. The possibilities are endless. And it doesn't stop there. With the MIY kits, children can create even more characters and add to their collection with a little help from mum or dad. Inspire, narrate, communicate, create, customize, Wallplay. Bring the walls to life.